Um, like any relationship, I think just time and communication. Having been with him, everywhere I've been, and you know, just spending time with him, on the practice field, in the meeting room, you know, having conversations on the field, off the field, just about, how I see things, how he sees things. I think over time, that relationship just continues to get better, and I think the better relationship you have, with the coordinator, with the person calling the plays, the easier it is on game day, for them to kind of understand, what I like and what I see well, and kind of what to get to.
Do you think it's maybe more personality driven than what's in the playbook?
A little bit, yeah.
How did you feel about being named NFC Offensive Player of the Week?
Um, I mean, obviously, it's cool. I think you get named that. Obviously, you played well, and you hope your team win. But you know, I think the win and starting the season 1-0, that was the biggest thing of the week.
Obviously, winning is your top priority, but other than that, is the hope that your name will be up there among the better quarterbacks in the NFL? Is that something that you strive for?
You know, kind of my approach, like I've told you guys, is just to come in here each day. Try to get better. Try to be the best teammate I can be, the best leader I can be. Figure out how to help us win, and I think that's really what it's all about. If we find ways to win, then hopefully that the rest or everything else takes care of itself. But my goal is to figure out everything I can do to help us win each week.
And you've talked a lot about your familiarity with Shurmur and comfort level with him. Is this as comfortable as you've been in an offense in your career? And if so, how does that translate on the field?
Um, yeah, I think looking back, it's really it's the second time in my career where I've really been able, where I've had the same offensive coordinator and haven't been injured, and so I think also just kind of getting older, being year 8 and having played as many games as I had, I think I'm just more comfortable with my preparation during the week and what I need to do to get ready and feel like I'm ready to go on Sundays. But with Pat and this offense, I would say that's probably about as comfortable as I felt. Just given the fact that we've been together, in St. Louis and Philly and here, and I think it allows you to go out there and just play. It eliminates some of the thinking where you go out there and you just react. And I think when you're doing that, you're able to play fast, you're able to play quick, and it just kind of frees you up a little bit.
Are you able to do any more checks and anything like that at the line of scrimmage than you have in the past, or is that always been the same?
Pat's always given me, the freedom to do things at the line of scrimmage. I think just going back to, my comfort level, I think being more comfortable in an offense and maybe recognizing when a called play, um, you know, might not be against the defense that we're seeing, or when the defense that they're showing, might present an opportunity to get to another play. I think it just allows me, to maybe recognize things a little bit quicker and get to some of those things if we feel like we need to.
What percentage of the time would you say you actually change a call play if there's something wrong?
Very rare. I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, you hope that you call the right play, and that's why you watch film. That's why you prepare. That's why we game plan and feel like what we're calling is going to work. And then if for some reason they throw something unexpected at us, or we get a look that you know is going to take away the primary concept, then that's when you get to something. But you know, the goal is not to go up there and change every play. I mean, that's going to slow you down. The goal is to only have to do it when you need to.
And when you do that, I mean, do you have a certain number of plays you can check to, or is it basically anything in that first number is just your lead?
Usually you have a few ideas going into the week of just, a handful of concepts that, hey, if we see this coverage, this play would be good. If we see this coverage, this play would be good. Um, I think, if you go into it and you don't really have an idea and you're like, I'll just figure it out at the line and, pick from something in the playbook, I think that's a little bit more difficult. Sometimes I like to just have, a couple ideas for each coverage.
Sam, what does it mean to you to be a captain this year?
Um, I think that's something that I actually take a lot of pride in. To be named a captain, and know that I'm one of the leaders in this locker room and on this football team. Um, it means a lot. I take a lot of pride in it, and I think there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I live up to that.
Now, how is your ability to step in and be that leader? You know, obviously the quarterback by nature is a leader, but last year you got just arrived, you didn't know anybody, and now you got that.
Yeah. Kind of going back to the relationships. I think having been here for a year, with our guys and just building those relationships, I think it's a lot easier to be more vocal. You know, I think they're more comfortable with me now. I'm more comfortable with them. And so, whether it be at practice or in a game, if I see something or feel like, we need to talk about something, I'm a lot more comfortable going up to everyone and just making sure that, it gets communicated as opposed to last year. I was really just trying to figure out what I was doing and try to figure out, make sure that I wasn't messing everything up.
When were you last captain?
Probably my last year in St. Louis.
Sam, what are the moments the other night when last night it looked like a better team as opposed to the rookies?
Really the whole game. I thought Pat did a great job. His communication at the line was great. I don't think he missed a call all night. I thought his tempo getting us in and out of the huddle was great. And so for him to be able to go out there and play the way he did week one, I think it was really impressive by him.
What do you think it's about him? Typically, when these guys go outside of top two rounds, they're developmental players, or it takes them a while periods to start right away.
Yeah. He's just a really good player. I think he works extremely hard. I think he's gifted both physically and mentally. I think mentally his ability to grasp our offense and what we're trying to do, I think has been one of the things that's really stood out to me. I feel like during OTAs, during training camp, if he made a mistake, rarely would he ever make that mistake again. He would learn from it. He would kind of put that in his memory bank, and the defense, wouldn't be able to fool him again. And I think, having a guy like that who, is able to learn very quickly, I think that's one of the reasons, obviously he was able to start week one and play the way he did.
Sam, what's the challenge of going into Pittsburgh and playing that defense? How would you describe it?
It's definitely going to be a challenge for us. Obviously, they're a very good football team, very good defense. Their home opener, I'm sure it's going to be a pretty rowdy environment. Just from watching some tape, they're pretty multiple in their looks. They throw a lot at you. We're going to have to be able to recognize a lot. So I think this week will definitely be a challenge for us. I think those guys up front, they did a great job, of giving me time back there. They did a great job in their blitz pickup, keeping the pocket clean, and then the guys outside won. But, I really think it all started with those guys up front. They just gave me time to evaluate things, and we were able to convert quite a few of them.
Sam, you had that 21-yard pass to Jarius Wright on the sideline in a pretty tight window. Can you take me through what you saw defensively on that play and what made it successful?
It was man, and that's a play we kind of put in for that coverage. It's a route that we feel like Jarius runs really well. Those deep twos are something that he's gotten open quite frequently when he runs, and so we got the look we wanted. Jarius did a great job winning and made a nice catch.
Is that a window that you think he would throw into 10 out of 10 times, or sometimes do you hesitate when you see a tight window like that?
Honestly, I mean, in a game you see it and you react and you throw it, and that's just kind of how it goes.
Last couple for Sam.